Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of our Salem by Night Chronicle. My name is Will. I will be your storyteller today, and tonight we go back to our Anarch chapter. We are one light, as one of our group is currently in the middle of a move, so we hope that he expedites the process and comes back as soon as possible. But last we left off, it is the evening of April 30th, 1984 in Salem, Oregon, and our group met each other for the first time at the Last Call bar that is owned by Samantha Crushing, who is a bruja that works on the Riverfront District. They kind of dealt with Joshua's need or insistence at having something done. They found out that someone up north in the Kaiser district has been incessing some conflict in the area. They've learned of the issues up north, and that Andrew Givens has information for the group. They learned, though, that the man frequents a shop called Books for Sale, which they found after they met an interesting Nosferatu who is more monstrous than human, who calls himself Teddy and has 3 ghoul cats of different sizes and pedigrees. We left off with the group kind of chasing the owner of this bookstore into a back office, and this is where we meet our 2 kindred tonight. It's good to see you guys. So the door closes. Kenny and Andreas Barker. Kenny's name is actually Erickson Wood in this game. So Erickson and Andreas kind of step up to the door. Mustang, we left off with you were kind of down the hallway, down one of the aisles of the books, but you had kept your distance, right? If I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah.
Okay. And so the door closes. There's a muffled bit of vocalization that happens, and you see Erickson immediately try for the knob, and he realizes that it's locked. And at that point, he kind of rears back, brings his right shoulder forward. Excuse me. And as he's about to come in contact with the door, there is a sudden burst of wood as a clawed hand shoots straight out about his chest level and kind of comes in contact with his neck and then pulls him face first into the door. The door crumbles as the impact kind of shocks him, and you see him step up, shake off the bit of debris, and behind this 6'6" kind of muscular build of a thing, because it's not a man, it's not a woman, it's monstrous, and it's not Nosferatu in any way, shape, or form. This looks like something different. But behind that thing, you see the person who stepped into the office that you had chased step through a mirror. Yeah, he steps through a mirror, and as he does, you see him kind of in a different space, looking back, and he shatters the mirror on his end, shattering the mirror on this end. But the creature in front of you raises its other arm and brings it just straight down like a one-handed haymaker on Erickson Wood. And there is a very wet sound as this thing's claws just kind of rake down the side of his face and kind of into his chest as he lets him go, and you see him kind of flop to one side and just slide down. He looks to be unconscious. The creature's claws are lethal, and as it kind of looks straight at Andreas and surveys the situation in front of it, we are now going to roll for initiative, as this has become a combat situation.
Everybody but the Bruja.
There's no real roll for initiative. It is just a total of composure, whatever your composure and awareness is, that's where you are on the initiative track. So what is Andreas's total?
What was composure?
Composure?
Composure is right underneath manipulation. It's a social trait.
Oh, total of 3 then.
Okay. And for Mustang?
Composure 3.
Okay. And awareness?
2.
2, so you are 5.
Plus the blood?
No,
no.
There's no roll.
Oh, there's no roll.
No. For initiative, it just whatever your total is. That's what it is for the track. And so we go from high to low, and it is if there's a tie, it's normally the PC is more important than the NPC, and if there's a vampire versus a mortal, then the vampire is more important than the mortal. And if there's still ties beyond that, we just go to a roll-off. But Mustang will go first. And looking down the aisle of this bookshelf, the bookshelf's on either side of you, and you can just see this hulking thing kind of start to step out towards Andreas. Ericsson's body is kind of slumped down, its head lulled to the side, his eyes have closed, so he's not creeping you out, and it's not something that you would be creeped out by.
Ericsson or the creature?
Ericsson. The creature is definitely something you've never seen before.
Okay.
But you also notice that it hasn't looked in your direction, so it doesn't know you're there.
I'm just too handsome.
Too handsome.
Yeah,
I'm right
like
there.
contemplating whether I should just book it. What would she do?
You are closest to the door.
Yeah.
But you also know that the door has a bell.
Okay. And there's no other exit that I can use, right?
There's one on the other side of this monstrous creature.
Oh, the thing. Yeah.
That's the door we want to get into.
Right. Oh man.
What for you? Bury me in the
I
cold,
kind
cold
of want
ground.
to. I kind of want to run or shoot it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna shoot it.
Okay. I mean,
I really want to run.
Right.
I understand.
What is your prototype? Consensualist. Oh yeah, so you're not used to the kind of getting your blood forcefully. Like you like it to be given freely.
Yeah.
That's a big thing with you. So yeah, so you pull the gun free from its holster. This might be one of the first times Mustang has ever actually brought force against another person.
Really?
Do you think that she's had to
Against
use
another
force?
vampire?
like against anybody? Do you think that she's ever had to really use force, or
Yeah.
do you think the
I think
threat?
so.
Yeah.
I think so.
You don't
I
think?
think she's done that
Okay.
for sure.
See, so this might be the first supernatural thing that you bring. Your what is it? Your
Or something that I've never seen before.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that creature thing. I don't know that she's ever seen like a creature like that
Yeah.
before. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you're gonna roll your composure and your firearms.
So it was a 3 composure, 3 and 4. Okay. So, well, 4 total.
4 total. You have a hunger 1, so it's gonna be 3 regular dice and 1 hunger dice.
Great. Okay, so that was a 9, a 5, and an 8 on the regular dice, and a 9 on the hunger dice.
Okay, 3 successes, and you have a what is it? A 45 caliber?
Yes, 2 of them.
Ooh.
Can I shoot both?
You would have had to split your dice pool before.
Never mind. I shot one.
No. I mean, I think with a multiple action, I think it's only a 2 die penalty to the second one. So you could do it if you wanted to roll 1 and 1.
No, I'll just shoot it like once.
Okay.
Twice.
So 45. I think that's a heavy gunshot, so that's a +4. And you got 3 successes, so that's 7 total. Halving it because he's a vampire means he takes 3 points of superficial damage. You see the bullet dig itself right into the side of his body as he steps towards Andreas, and it looks down at this bleeding wound, and then it looks down the hall of books towards you, and it roars.
Great.
There's something simple about its vision, about its eyes, that you can't really see. Andreas does, as it kind of turns his attention back to him. There's something odd about this thing as it steps closer to you.
You mean aside from the hulking monstrousness and the...
Yes. There's stitching. It's like Frankenstein.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I have a feeling I know what this is, but Andreas wouldn't, so...
Yeah. But you do get to go next before he goes.
Okay.
So what would you like to do?
Well, I only have 1 gun on me, and that was that single barrel shotgun I got back at the bar from the last time.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
It's point blank. It's right there, and now I can see seams.
Yep.
So are there any, let's go with the easy ones. Are there any seams around the neck, anything where it was attached?
There are, in fact. So
Excellent.
if you want to do, you can do. If you're gonna do the called shot, it's gonna be a wits and firearms. And it's gonna be -2 die for the called shot. So you're looking at 7 originally. So 5 with the subtraction. So it's gonna be 4 regular dice and 1 hunger dice.
Regular dice, 100. I just so happen to have that ready.
Nice.
Okay. What's my difficulty?
6. It's a flat difficulty.
Okay. Flat. Nice.
Yeah.
And yes. Okay. 2 6s, a 9, and my hunger dice is at a 5. So 3 successes.
3 successes.
3 successes, failure on the hunger die.
Yeah. So +4 would be 7. You're point blank, so I'll give you another 2, so that puts you at 9. And so halving that, it takes 4. You see that there's a resilience to this thing that is inhuman. Like, it is definitely, it's taken 145 caliber. It's taken a point blank shotgun blast,
The neck.
and it is still standing. It is still kind of, it has now got a primal look of hunger in its face, in its eyes, as it kind of goes from looking you dead in your eyes to kind of like looking for a place where it can sink its fangs. And you do see it rush in towards you.
I got a question.
Okay.
How long does it take to unload to reload one of these breech-loading shotguns? I mean, I'm not gonna have time before this thing gets a hold of me. I'm just curious.
Right. I would say it's a simple action, so it wouldn't.
Yeah, because cracking the breech would fling the shell out and then just popping a new one in. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still not gonna have time to do that. So, can I reflexively try and put the shotgun up between me and its jaws if it's coming to bite me?
You can. Yeah, for sure. So that'll be.
That's a good way to live.
Yeah, we'll say that is gonna be a strength and melee roll for you then. If you want to roll that versus this attack roll.
Okay, and I'm still doing one hunger die on my pool.
Yeah, you still have 100.
All right.
Oh Jesus!
Yes, and no at the same time. All right, I got. Okay, out of dice pool of 5, I got 3 successes. They're all 3 of those are 10s, and the hunger dice was a 5. That was bad.
Okay, so 3 10s. That means 2 of those become critical.
Okay.
So that's actually 4 plus the second one. The third one makes it a total of 5. So you got 5 successes to jam your shotgun up into this thing's mouth. Which is good because I had rolled 6 successes.
Oh God. I'm gonna need a new shotgun, but that's okay.
Yeah. And you see that you jam this long metallic with a wooden kind of walnut hand stock straight up towards its mouth. It kind of just brings its head crashing against it and then kind of wiggles its its chin kind of up and around, and it brings its fangs kind of down on your shoulder. So you'll take 1 point of aggravated damage.
Ooh, ow.
Yeah. You can definitely tell that this thing would have ripped straight through your shoulder if you hadn't have kind of misdirected or redirected his kind of flood.
Well, thank Cain for small favors, but I'm still mad. That's my favorite shoulder.
Yeah. So it brings us back up to the top of the round. Mustang, you see this thing kind of lurch forward. There's a bit of a struggle as you saw Andreas kind of just billy club his shotgun straight up into this thing's face, but it still got through, and you still heard, I would imagine, a kind of grunt or some kind of vocalization of the pain.
And I'm still in the same spot that I was standing in before.
Yes, you did not move last time, so I assume that you just stood your ground.
Yeah. Am I able to see any weak spot on him now that I've been watching him for a while?
There's
do I know the thing about the eyes?
Not the eyes, but there's definitely pieces of flesh that you see that are coming undone from the bullet wound that you did and from the shotgun blast that it took. It looks like there's a monstrosity of a person in front of you, of a thing. Like, it has been stitched together from different parts of different people. And so this is like what you would imagine some Frankenstein has created as the perfect thing, predator. There's a moment where, like, even your beast inside of you, that hungering kind of voice, there's a bit of fear that's starting to like circulate through your body. Like this thing took a shotgun blast and still came after Andreas.
Immediately.
Yeah.
So
Okay. So my little guns aren't gonna do much.
I mean, it's still a 45.
yeah.
Every little bit helps.
I'm contemplating
Yeah.
whether I should shoot it double gunned
Ooh.
or lunge at it with my knife and blind it.
Oh. You want to run up and stab it in the face?
Well, but you just told me that the beast inside me is scared. So
Yeah.
I I don't know that she would follow her fear that way.
Yeah.
Go for the eyes, boo.
Yeah. Yeah. Either course of action, I think the guns do afford you a bit of safety because it means
Yeah.
you get to keep your distance.
Yeah. Yeah, I think let's do the guns. Both of them.
Okay. So to fire both guns, then in the one action is just going to be a 2-die penalty. Actually, you know what? Since it's something that you've done before, let's make it a 1-die penalty. So it'll be a composure and firearms for you. So that's going to be 4 regular.
Yeah.
Now it's going to be knocked down to 3. You're still at hunger 1 because you haven't awoken your beast. So it's going to be 2 regular dice and 1 hunger dice.
Okay. Uh, 8 and 7 and 6 on the hunger.
8, 7, 6. So all successes. That's 3. Plus 4 for the first gun is 7. Plus another 3 for the second bullet is 10. And because he is vampiric, he halves that. So he takes 5. But that's more than he has access to, and you see him drop. Yeah. 2 shots, just kind of quick succession, echo through the bookstore, and then you just see 2 spatters of different cones of blood kind of come out of his midsection, and there is just a grunt of dissatisfaction as it falls to its knees, and then just easily, with you guiding it with your now bent shotgun, you can just kind of knock it to the side and let him fall. It is a heavy thunk.
Yeah. Nicely done.
But yeah, Erickson is out for the count. You see that he's kind of slumped over. His wounds are starting to heal, so you can imagine that he is reflexively kind of like pushing blood and just kind of keep biding his time.
Okay. What about monstrosity? Does this look unconscious or does this look dead?
It actually starts. It almost, there's a moment where you see some of the wounds start to close, and then almost as if an unseen force has kind of released it from its service, you see all of the stitching come undone and the body parts separate.
Okay. Obviously the door's been smashed to bits, so we have I have a look into I have a view into the next room. No one's left in that room.
No one's left in that room. There's just
Okay.
it's an office. There's a desk. What looks to be just an oversized chair that you would imagine is where this thing kind of sits. There are no windows in the office. It looks like it's proofed against daylight. There's a broken kind of full-length mirror.
Right, that was the guy stepped through.
Yeah. And you also notice that there's a painting. No name on it, but it looks like a vineyard, maybe? It's not a place that you recognize from your travels, but it's definitely got the feel of a European kind of vineyard.
Okay, so it's not like a Napa Valley or something like that.
No.
Okay. Okay, getting a closer look at Monster Boy.
Can I also look at him?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Come on over. It's disgusting.
It's disgusting. It actually is.
I'm sure. So, like, what does the flesh look like? Does he actually look like he was Frankenstein from different people? Is the tissue different? I mean, you said he sort of had a Nosferatu-ish look to him, but he's definitely not of that ilk.
Yeah, yeah. And as you're kind of both looking him over, turning certain body parts over, some of them, as you touch them, turn to dust. And you notice that you start to imagine that this thing was probably Frankenstein from kindred, not even from like living hosts.
Oh, okay. So yeah, okay. So even the ones that didn't crumble away are probably like younger kindred, or who
Yeah,
knows?
yeah.
Okay.
Like the head is one of the few that doesn't crumble away. The clawed hands crumble away. One
I
of
wanted to
the
bring,
one of the
I wanted to
legs.
bring a lumpy hand back and just be like, find out who this is.
Yeah, the one of the legs disappears. A part of his midsection crumbles. Uh, the upper left part of his chest, where his heart was, crumbles. But the head sticks around, and it looks like if it was human at any point, it has been a long time since it ever resembled who it was to begin with. Um, the skin has been pulled and stretched. The 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 proportions are all off, and they're also kind of made to give him a predatorial advantage, even more so than the humans already have. There's a little bit of a sleekness to the face. It's almost shark-like in that the maw has kind of been extended. There's been extra teeth added. This reeks of vicissitude to you, Mustang. Like, this is something that you know your sire has kind of railed against. Like, this is the kind of thing. Yeah, this is the kind of thing that he hates that his clan is known for.
Oh, so this was made by its Mitzi.
You can easily.
Well, I mean, made by somebody who or mastered vicissitude to some degree.
Yeah.
I mean, usually, yeah, that is an easy, but
Gotcha.
that was going to be my next question. Does my character have any familiarity with like flesh or bone crafting in his time?
You might have come across some of it because of your sire.
And our time in Europe. So.
Yeah. Your sire has definitely communed with and sat at tables that belong to Tsumitsu, to other dragons. So he's probably used it. Had somebody that he goes to kind of help people forget or forge new lives, forget their old lives.
So is this because now I understand what this creature is, right?
It is something that you've heard about in passing, only because the creation of such a creature has been outlawed, because this was a big contention during the Middle Ages for a bunch of clans. And if this is what you think it is damning evidence against Andrew Givens and whatever he might be up to.
Yeah, because to our knowledge, he's supposed to be a Tremere, or at least to the best that we know.
He's supposed to be the Tremere.
Yeah, or the Primogen, right?
Primogen, I believe.
So it would be.
He helps the Tremere Primogen.
Yeah, he's a major Tremere. I have it here.
Yeah.
So it would behoove us to have some kind of evidence to
Well, yeah,
take back.
we're taking the head with us. That's a foregone conclusion. I'm sure we'll find like a box or something in here. But
Yeah.
okay, investigating into the room.
Mhm.
I mean, is there? Okay, you said there was the chair that the whatever this thing was, where it would normally be awaiting visitors.
Yep.
Does it look like anyone else spends any time in there? Because we had Homeboy busting through the mirror to get out of there.
Yep.
Is there anything left? Anything left in the room? I know Tremere wouldn't be leaving spell books or anything around.
Yeah.
Just for no reason. So I'm not looking for stupid.
There is a ledger of books that have come in and books that have been sold recently. It looks like there was another ledger that was taken. So you can only imagine that whatever he took was the more important book.
Yeah.
But yeah,
What he left was like the front for the store.
Yeah, so there's one ledger there. There is a filing cabinet in the corner. As far as like big things, there's not really any sign of anyone else kind of sleeping in this room. It looks like it was just this thing.
Okay. Any other stupid thoughts? The pieces of the mirror on the backs of it. Was there any like sigils, chalk markings, something that would have been on the transverse side of the mirror to cause anything? Like I'm grasping at straws, but
You pick it up and give me a wits and investigation check.
oh good.
Yeah, 4 and 1. That's 5.
Investigation. Okay,
So
all right, I'm doing some good tonight. So 4 and a hunger.
4 regular, 1 hunger. Yeah.
Okay, hunger dice is a failure. 1 success. 6, 4, 3, and a 2.
Okay. Looking at it, it looks like there might have been something that was written on the other side, but the crash has kind of destroyed
Yeah.
any actual evidence there.
Okay.
What does Mustang want to do with the room or with the rest of the body?
Well, we're taking the head, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. I'm wrapping it up in Erickson's jacket. I'm playing.
Great.
I mean, he's not gonna need it.
So, can I search the room to see if there's anything there?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and make a. How do you wanna go about searching it? With just your natural perception? Do you wanna rifle through things? Like which route do you wanna take?
Let me see. How's my perception? Where would I see that?
Perceptive, like just relying on like sight, usually defaults to wits and awareness. If you're doing more like
Okay.
of a kind of fine-tooth investigation, though, it would probably be an intelligence and investigation roll.
Okay, so wits and awareness is 4 and 5, 6, or investigation is 3 and what was the other one?
Intelligence.
Intelligence.
Yeah, same dice pool. 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have any specialties to help you in either one. So yeah, it'd be whichever one you want to try to rely on.
Let's do wits and awareness.
Okay.
So that's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4,
That'll be 5 regular, 1
Yes.
hunger.
5, 6, 7. No. 4, 5, 6. Good. Okay, hunger's at 4.
Okay.
Then we have 1, 7, 7, 2, and 4.
Okay. So 2 successes. As you look around, you kind of look at the same mirror shards that Andreas was looking at. You kind of look throughout the room, and as you're about to put the mirror shard back, you see something in the reflection that catches your eye. and you realize that there's somebody else in this room, in the corner by the filing cabinet.
Like I can see them in the shard.
Like you can see the outline, like almost like the Predator from the Predator movies. That you can see that kind of the same silhouette that you saw with Teddy when he was kind of in his obfuscation. That's what you see here.
But it's the reflection is in the shard.
Yeah, like you see it in the shard. If you turn around and look, you'll see it yourself.
Okay. Where is Andreas?
By the door. Kind of. I would imagine he is chucking whatever paperwork. Yeah, he's chucking whatever paperwork he deems unnecessary from the box that he just found to store the head in.
Okay. Well, I don't want that thing to run.
It's like a fishing magazine. You're just like, this is useless.
Yeah.
Because if I don't want it to run out the room.
Right.
Playboy, I can't even use these anymore.
And the door's open right now.
Yep.
And if Andreas is Andreas in the room with me?
Well, yeah, I'm probably hung back in the doorway just a little bit to give you some room to look around too.
Yeah, he's probably
right
half.
Now, I'm busy dealing with
okay.
whatever the thing's head is.
Yeah,
he's like half in, half out.
Okay. Andreas. Close the door.
Whatever's left of it.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
There is no door.
I mean, well, I mean,
there is no door.
That's fine. I'll obviously something's up if you're asking me to close the smashed ass door.
Yeah. So the lower half of the door creaks to a close.
I have a quick question. Does my shotgun even look serviceable anymore? I mean, like it was in this thing's maw. So.
Yeah, you could probably get one or two more shots out of it, and then you're gonna run the risk of like it backfiring on you.
Okay, then that's gonna be. I'll keep it as a club then, just for the moment.
I mean, you do have potence, so if you get your potence higher, you might be able to bend it back into shape.
For comedic effect. No, honestly, I don't have time to do this. If there's something in the room with us, I don't have time to be pulling some shit like that. Yeah. So this is gonna be all right. I do have the Bowie knife too, so I'll draw that for now.
Okay.
So.
What's wrong? What do you see? What do you hear?
I kind of just want to shoot it. She's feeling like she wants to shoot shit today.
There's no cause to impress nor need to stand on ceremony. You just pull that trigger.
Yeah.
So I'm still facing it away from it, right?
Yeah. Like you're facing towards the door and then where Andreas is.
Okay. So I don't want to shoot it proper. I want to shoot above it. Is that possible?
Sure. Yeah. That's a simple. I won't even have you roll. Just since you're not aiming to hit, you just.
But like super quick. Like I just want to like scare it.
Yeah. The gunshot goes off, and then you just hear a feminine voice. Whoa! There's no need for that whatsoever. And dropping her obfuscation, you will see this hideous female form kind of appear out of nowhere, wearing a very elegant kind of 1940s style silhouette dress. It's got the very wide kind of I Love Lucy skirt, very simple flats, a nice shirt, and a kind of sleeveless jacket over it that matches the skirt, a bit of jewelry, and her face looks like at one point it might have been modestly beautiful, and yet now it's very much more closer related to like a rat. Like her nose looks a little bit more elongated than her face should allow. There's a few kind of strands of hair that come out like whiskers on her upper lip. Her canines are more pronounced and kind of shifted over instead of being like the third tooth out from the center. They're the second one. And there's no hair on her head except like little patches on top. And her ears are just pointed up and out, kind of like less rat and more bat-like. But she kind of holds her hands up. She's like, I am not with him or that thing. Who
are you?
Sure. Yeah. Hi. How are you? How's everybody? I hope we're all in a good mood. They call me Tulip.
Oh, I was gonna guess it was Mouse. I was.
Oh, do you say that out loud?
Yeah, actually I do.
Can I give him a little like slap, like a Oh, never mind. Who am I?
Yeah, who are you?
I forgot who I am.
You don't.
I was like, you can go ahead and give me a little slap. I just don't know how well that's gonna go for everybody.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you
I'm like, what character is
Yeah,
this?
you don't touch people.
It's not the one you most right. I'm gonna slap a biker tonight.
I just shot the shit out of Frankenstein. I'll do what I want.
Yeah, she did. You know.
Okay, I shoot him a look. I shoot him a dirty look.
Okay. Yeah, but she kind of nods and she's like, "Yeah, it's funny the first time. Yeah, they call me Tulip. Who are you guys, if I can ask?"
Why are you here?
Whew, that's a funny story. Okay, so it's not.
I'm starting to stalk towards her. Just
yeah. She pulls herself back against the wall as much as possible. She's like, it's funny in retrospect. It's not so funny given the current situation. I got locked in here last night.
Why?
Because I came to see Andrew about Juliet, and we got to talking, and it just, he said I could stay here.
What do you know about Juliet?
I mean, I know she's the primogen. I know she's Tremere, and she's in charge of the Chantry House.
who is that who just stepped through the mirror?
That was Andrew.
Well, yeah, but how in the hell did he get out of here?
I mean, magic? I don't know how they do it.
You know where he went?
Yeah, he went to the Chantry House. It's the only safe place the Tremere have in the city.
Do I know where that is?
No.
No, that's I've been looking for them since at least, what was it? I can't say this part in character 2 sessions ago.
Yeah, it's been about 2 weeks.
Yeah, the flower shop. That was that wasn't a Chantry House, but that was a Tremere location. This clearly was.
She looks at you. She's like, "You burned down the flower shop?"
No, actually, I didn't.
Okay. I was gonna say that was a good spot for everybody. I don't know why you would burn it down. Like, those blood petals were really useful.
These things just happen. Well, I was there when it happened, but I didn't burn the place down.
Okay. You see her, she kind of extends her hand out. She's like, you still haven't introduced yourselves.
I think we're a little past formalities right now.
Oh, okay.
So
she pulls her hand back.
I mean,
Does she
Take a
seem
side.
like she's genuine? Like, does she seem she's trying to like I
These are
don't know.
canines. I mean, nobody's sincere to me. Just saying.
You have come a long way in vampire. Um, let's have
I'm just letting.
you let's have you make a wits and um, wits and insight.
Yeah, I just want to know if she's like putting up an act,
Sure.
you know? 1, 2, 3, 4, and one hunger die.
Yep.
Yes.
So it's 5 total, right? 4 regular, 1 hunger.
Yep.
Yep. You guys are getting good at this.
Hunger is 2, 8, 7, 10, and 5.
Okay, so 3 successes. Um, you can tell that as far as like her personality goes, she is definitely uh she's definitely sincere as far as like, the whole introducing herself and kind of getting caught here overnight. Um but it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. Like she could have left at any point from sundown to now. So there's something that doesn't sit right with you as far as that is concerned.
She said that she was locked in there.
Yeah.
So is that something I guess I don't believe it?
It considering how easily the door was broken through, like there's something that it just doesn't sit right with you about her being locked in here.
Okay. So how long have you known Andrew?
What since I came out to the city, he was here before me. Um, I've only been here. Wow, I've only been here like 30 years.
You said you were locked in here last night.
Yeah, he has a thing. I hate. Sometimes I just hate Tremere. He has this thing where he doesn't allow anyone to leave the room unless he, lets them.
Weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just let them tell you what to do like that?
I mean, he's older than I am, so I can't really like, do much against that. And we have an understanding, like he lets me. She looks around. She's like, she lets me have some of his blood sometimes, so that I can, learn what he knows.
Is this common?
It is one way to learn disciplines for vampires to taste each other's blood.
Okay.
It gives you access to whatever disciplines they have. And it's also a way to become bloodbound, which is not something that a lot of vampires shoot for, because it turns you into a slave, basically.
Right. Okay. Gotcha. So that's the situation. That's why she didn't leave.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like she knows much else though.
I got half a mind to stake her and take her back to the bar with us.
You say that out loud?
No.
Okay. Because
I don't need. Yeah, no, I don't need to. I don't need to scare the shit out of her just yet.
yeah, that definitely would have scared the shit out of her.
I mean, but we bust open the door, we killed the thing, and then she didn't think to leave either.
Well, if she's partially bloodbound to this guy, I mean, who knows what she's thinking? This is the kind of this could go from anything to she thinks she's in love with him, to just almost like not quite control at a distance kind of thing. But there's enough of a leftover message that just it'd be kind of hard for her to push through, depending on how often she's drinking blood.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so she said that mirror leads to the what? The Chantry?
The Chantry House.
House.
Yeah.
And Chantry House.
Yeah, the Chantry House is basically like a clubhouse. It's kind of like a tree house for Tremere. It's usually
Okay.
it's
If it was a standalone structure.
excuse me. It's usually a building that's kind of been warded. It has a whole bunch of like traps and things like that. It's like the Tremere are a clan of vampire that used to be human mages and have stolen vampirism.
Got
So
it.
they've kind of
Okay.
tried to keep as much of their sorcery intact through the blood. And one of the things that they do is that because they were mages at one point, they still have the kind of writings of the Hermetic Order that they used to belong to, and so they have
Okay.
old rituals that they had before and that they've kind of modernized and twisted to be fueled by the blood.
Got it.
Yeah. So the Chantry House is like chapter houses, basically, where they keep all of the
Right.
information they've gathered in a certain area.
And she just said that links to it, like the Chantry House.
Yeah.
Okay, so, and do you know where this mirror leads specifically?
She kind of looks at the shards and she's like, "No, he's never taken me there.
She
It's-
lying?
Let's have you make a roll again." Same roll,
Okay.
wits and insight.
Okay.
I like that there was no hesitation.
Yeah, she lying?
It just sounded like a lie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Blood 6, 4, 6, 1, and 2.
Okay, so 2 successes. Excuse me. It doesn't seem like she's lying. Like there's a genuine disappointment in her tone of voice that if she was faking would be incredibly well trained.
Okay. And she doesn't seem like she's got it in her.
No, from the little bit that you've talked to her, she looks like she was fucking maybe a flapper at some point, like from the 1920s. Like she gives you that vibe.
I mean, she's been here for at least 30 years. She could be that old easily.
Yeah.
So, and then what about her face?
I mean, it is
Horrifying, probably.
Yeah.
If she's a Nosferatu, they're all some degree of monstrous or another.
Yeah.
So that wasn't that's just like how she looks. Like
Yeah.
that's not something
Yeah.
that was like put on her.
No, that doesn't look fleshcrafted.
In fact, vicissitude is sometimes used to like alleviate those effects temporarily, because like Nosferatu are like usually perma ugly.
Yeah.
But
Got
like
it.
fleshcrafting can be used to make them look human or how they used to again. But it'll heal like damage over time. Like they'll go back to looking the way they were.
Yeah.
Got it. Cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I'm done with her then.
Music's
She didn't
my
give me anything.
ears.
You learned a bit.
I got a little bit, but
Mm.
so I turned to Andreas. I'm done with her.
Does that mean I can go?
Alone at last.
Oh.
Oh, did I leave?
No.
No.
I'm just trying to intimidate the little Nosferatu.
Yeah.
Hard.
Yeah. I picture the typical anime like hand slap against the wall behind her. It's like, hello.
No, this is just checking the edge of the Bowie knife, looking very meaningfully, like I'm choosing cuts of meat.
Yep. Okay.
What to do with you? What to do with you?
I mean, I'm just part of the network. So I don't.
What network?
You know about the network?
No, enlighten me.
I mean, I was accepted into the network by our primogen. Malcolm. They call him the Snake. He likes to ensure that at least one of us is always in a particular area. Um, I'm I'm kind of the one that chose to come up to the north. It used to be Mickey's place, but um, he's kind of gone quiet over the last couple of weeks. But there's a new guy, JJ, that came into town from New York, which is where I used to live. But he's been interesting. So they gave him Mickey's kind of section out in the east.
The east side.
No,
this
sorry.
to you, Will.
Sorry, the south side. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, I was like, the east, isn't that the Camarilla territory?
Yeah, I mean you're in Salem proper.
Oh yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough.
Yeah.
That does put a different complexion on things. We should probably get out of here pretty soon. Well, you know what? I'm not on bad terms with the Snake just yet, so I'm gonna let you go.
Thanks.
If I should have any questions for you in the future, is there anywhere I can find you? I promise, fewer knives, maybe less guns.
Oh, I mean I'm
Obviously, this part of town.
Yeah, I'm normally up here, unless there's, an Elysium called, and then we're all at the theater. But otherwise, I'm up here. I tend to
What theater?
the theater.
I'm new in town.
Oh, there's a theater down in Old Salem, downtown where the old town is. That's where Geraldine holds her Elysium. It's, the Orpheus. No.
Okay.
She's like, I think it's the Orpheus. I don't pay attention. I just know where to go.
Well, I can imagine how many theaters there's going to be in Salem, but just wanted to know.
Hmm? Yeah. It's the only one in Old Town. She has a deal with the city.
All right, she can get the fuck out of here.
Okay. Yeah, she slinks past you guys. She's like, okay, bye. Nice to meet you.
Eventually, this is going to get to the point where I'm going to regret not beheading every single person I come across.
But you even see her kind of like, she bends down to check on Erickson, and she kind of looks back. She's like, is he gonna be okay?
Go?
Yeah. Okay. Bye. And she just rushes out of the shop. You hear the little bell, bling, at the door.
All right, so is there anything else nothing else of interest seems to be in the bookshop other than the head we've collected, dust on the floor, our buddy Erickson, who we will remember to carry out before we do anything.
Yeah. If you go looking through the books in the shop, anything that hasn't been protected by Andrew still has its actual wording, its actual like inked story and binding, whatever. Anything that has been protected, you'll notice that the second you open it, all of the ink kind of rushes out of the books.
Like, okay, so the ones he has warded or protected or whatever.
Yeah. So
okay, that's really fucking interesting. Okay,
Yeah.
This building was freestanding, wasn't it?
Yes.
Oh, good.
There's a little alley on either side of it between the other buildings that are part of this kind of like shopping strip mall.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, almost all of the buildings in this kind of section are freestanding. Like they're not attached.
Okay, good. Well, I've started a signature last time. No sense in ceasing it now. grabbing a number of the books that seem to be the ones where the ink starts melting away when you look at it, the
Yeah.
protected, the preserved ones, that sort of thing. Yeah, I'll make those a nice little pile in the middle of the room where he disappeared into his mirror.
Okay.
And I'm going to light it on fire once we're done here.
Okay. So once you've pulled Erickson out.
Yeah, and I also don't want to set fire to the place before Mustang has a chance to check for anything she wants to, or not just a sudden let's go.
Yeah. But you see him pulling books out, and then kind of every so often there's a disgruntled kind of grunt as the ink slides down and onto like his pants or his shoes. But you see him just kind of take a few of them and just start stacking them on the desk.
Don't you want to take a few of those to see if we can read them later?
She makes a fair point. We'll save a sample or two. A couple of the ones I haven't opened yet that seem to have that same feel to them or whatever. We'll take a few of those with us. But other than that, I'm just trying to deny the Tremere any resources they may have had to abandon here.
Okay.
I want to take 2 of them.
Okay.
She has her choice of whatever one she wants.
Yeah. There is, a collection of Chaucer's Canterbury Tales that kind of gives you that feel. And then there is an old, not first edition, but definitely like you would imagine an 18th century or 19th century edition of the, what's it called? The Lutheran Bible.
And that's been warded or
It feels like it, yeah.
enchanted?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll take it was the Chaucer or it's the Bible?
Yeah. I mean, you said you want to take 2 of those, so that's the 2 that you...
Oh, yeah. Those are the 2.
Yeah. And I imagine that Kenny's body is outside with like a box that has a decapitated head in it.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait.
He's just slumped on my motorcycle, like with the thing in his lap.
There's the thing I want to take with me.
Okay.
I want to take the monkey's paw.
Oh, okay.
What? Monkey's
Yeah.
paw.
Yeah, there was a couple of trinkets on the shelves.
Right. Yeah, she was looking at them.
Yeah.
What were the things in the formaldehyde?
Different kind of bugs and small kind of animals, snakes. There was, I believe, a baby crow.
Stop, really?
Yeah.
In like a little jar?
Yeah, like a jar, like a specimen jar, wings kind of
Okay.
out
She takes them
outstretched. Yeah, there's a baby owl.
Mhm.
There's a lot of infant kind of either birds of prey like raptors or scavengers, but they're all like infant.
Right.
There's even like a buzzard or a condor kind of baby in the formaldehyde jar as a specimen jar.
This is really morbid.
Yeah, so I for sure take the 2 books, the baby crow
Okay.
and the monkey's paw.
All right. You shove those in the box to stop the head from moving around, or do you?
Obviously.
No, the head's not like oozing like bunches of blood still or anything.
No, not at all.
Okay.
No, once
Okay.
the body pieces start to kind of turn to dust, like all of the blood had just kind of coagulated and just stopped.
Okay. That guy won't ruin whatever it won't ruin what's going on with the books.
Yeah.
So,
Or Kenny's clothes.
all right. Well, you guys came here in a car, right? Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
So at least we can have so we can get Kenny. We can at least load Kenny into the car, because otherwise, unconscious person on back of motorcycle is very bad.
Yeah. Weekend at Bernie's, bro.
Yeah, no, but he'd have to ride in front of me, and I'm not riding bitch on my own bike. That's just, I don't know how many rules of the road there are, but it's got to be up there.
Okay.
So we load Erickson into the car.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You want to put him in the trunk, or do you want to put him in like an actual seat, like a human?
Put him in the seat like a human.
Okay.
If nothing else, for a carpool lane.
I feel like that might draw attention. Well, what time is it?
It's like 1 a.m.
Yeah.
There's like nobody out there.
Yeah, it'll be closer to
right?
2 once you guys are done, kind of going through all the things, picking out what you want to take, and setting everything up for the great blaze of 84.
Well, I'm not looking for a great blaze. Like, there's a reason I was asking why if the building was attached to others nearby. I'm not trying to burn down Salem proper. Just trying to send a signal to the Tremere that there's no shelter if you're looking for shade. It's about 10 years away from that song, but
yeah.
Yeah. So Kenny's in the front seat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Put sunglasses on and shit. All right, so everything is set outside the place. I'm heading back on in to light the fire.
Okay.
And one last look around, and
All right. Let me see.
Here comes backlash from me fucking with warding magic.
No.
Okay.
Because you are setting a fire. Because the last time the fire kind of erupted around you. This time you're setting it. So let's have you make a willpower roll.
Okay.
You have 2 left. Excuse me. There's no hunger dice here, so it's just 2 straight dice.
Oh. All right. 0 and a 9.
Okay, 2 successes.
Or 10 and a 9.
Yeah.
Yay.
So there's a moment where you look at the match as it lights up, and then you toss it into the books, and it erupts almost supernaturally into a big fire that you weren't prepared for. And there's a moment when your beast just gives you the entire image, just images. It just floods you with images of just like burnt vampires, the idea of you dying in the sun, and just like witches on the pyres of Salem, Massachusetts, not the Salem that you're in right now.
Yeah, just thousands of years of PTSD all at once.
Yeah, and there's a moment where you regret every decision that's led you to this one particular moment in time, and then you manage to kind of keep yourself in check, and you just very quickly back up until the fire's out of your line of sight, and then you just book out.
Mm-hmm. All right, so it's outside. It's onto the motorcycle. I guess our best thing to do is to head back to the bar for right now, at least. At the very least, to drop off Erickson, or just regroup there and let this guy wake up, get some blood into him.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yep. So
All
you guys.
Well, I'm staying with I'm staying with the car as we're heading back. So
Okay.
scouting ahead, a little further ahead on the road, that kind of thing.
Okay. There's no real issues. There's a cab that almost takes a stop sign, but it hears the roar of the motorcycle, and you see it kind of wait its turn. But you get to the bar without any real incident, and you see that there's maybe 2 or 3 bikes left. Like most of the club is gone.
Mm-hmm.
But across the street, you do see the excuse me, the moving van.
Mm-hmm.
And as you kind of come up
good.
and park, you see the lights turn on and off, then they turn on and off again.
Okay. And that's the usual prearranged signal with Benjamin.
Yeah.
Ben.
So
My
Ben.
shepherd.
Ben.
Do I see this?
My shepherd.
Let's see if you do notice it. Make a wits and awareness roll. You probably will because you have 6 dice.
Yeah.
That's pretty. She's got an impressive pool for that.
Well, oh, hold on. 6.
So 5 regular, 1 hunger.
Nobody sneak up on her.
Okay, so hunger 10,
Okay.
10, 3, 3, 7, and 3.
So you got 2 10s. One of them was on your hunger dice. That's a messy critical, but I don't see how the beast can fuck this up for you. So yeah, as you pull up, you kind of find a parking spot, and you'll see Andreas kind of pull up next to one of the other bikes that's already there, and he'll look down the street towards what looks to be a moving van, and you'll see the lights come on, go off. This is a couple seconds, and then they come on and go off again.
Okay. Because we were supposed to go inside the bar right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
This. Well,
Yeah.
So, do I notice that he's watching the van for that signal?
He doesn't watch for the signal, but he sees it. And there's almost an
Okay.
imperceptible nod of understanding.
Got it. Okay, so
It's like a reflex more than an actual like conscious thing, though.
okay. So, are we walking up into the bar right now?
first I'm heading over to your car to help you get Erickson out of the car and get my box of head.
I wonder if we should leave him in there.
Box ahead.
No, last time we leave anybody alone for like a second, they vanished.
It's true.
So once again, it's just like let's get him inside.
So as we're getting him out, what's with that van?
Oh, that's my home away from home.
That is your van?
Technically, my van does belong to the Free Souls, and yes, the man driving it is my good buddy Ben Shepherd.
So what's with that signal?
Just letting me know he's in the area, that everything's all right, and if he didn't signal me and was sitting here, that means there'd be something very, very fucky going on.
Is he lying?
Make a roll.
I'm shocked that he asked, and maybe.
Same, right?
Yep. What's insight?
Insight. So that's 4 and
4 regular,
5.
1 hunger.
To my credit, I am very forthright and honest so far for one of mine.
So far, yeah.
Blood is 3, 3, 2, 3, 7.
Okay. It sounds pretty honest. It's almost too honest for somebody that you just met.
Between you and me, Will, was that the signal that anything's wrong, or is that the all clear, just like all good, boss?
No, that's the all good boss.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah.
Walk in, everybody's dead in the bar. Like,
Yeah. No. There's danger around is just a single headlight.
Okay.
It's just a single on off.
Great.
Okay, then yeah, we'll just let's get this guy into the bar. I got the potence to do it, so.
Yeah. Excuse me. You pull him
Is
into
he
the...
lying?
He doesn't have the
No,
potency.
I will.
I'm kidding.
I will deadlift this guy. I will do squats with Erickson on my shoulders.
He's older, bro. He's heavy set. He's got a dad bod. But yeah, you got strength 3, athletics 5, so you can do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you get him into the bar. I'm assuming like firemen carry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
so you got him over
over the shoulder walking in. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm doing the Monopoly Man from Ace Ventura 2.
Yeah. You walk in. There's a couple people playing pool, and you see Samantha's kind of sitting at the bar like a patron. And as you come in carrying Erickson, she looks at the 2 patrons that are there. She's like, "Okay, that's the sign that we're closed, everybody." And one of them's like, "We got like 3 more balls." And she just looks at them. She's like, "You're about to have no balls if you don't get out."
Use Erickson's hand. It's a salute. Farewell.
And you see them finish their drinks hurriedly as they put their cue sticks on the table, and then they kind of leave the drinks at the bar, and then they walk out.
I was gonna drop him on the pool table next.
Excuse me. But she goes over, she closes the door, and she climbs up the little set of stairs, and she's like, well, I don't need to ask. It looks like you had a very prosperous night. Is he dead?
Yeah. No. Last we could tell, he was starting to heal, so we're just getting over. I'm gonna prop him up at the bar, so he just looks like a fucking drunk at this point.
Yes.
If anybody else happens to come in, he just looks like he's had one too many.
Yeah.
Slump.
Yeah.
And no, he seems all right. We ran into a little something. Our friend Andrew's got a lot of weird shit going on in this town.
Talking about Andrew Givens?
Yeah. That bookstore we went to check out had what looked like an old man who turned out to look like Andrew Givens in there, so I'm assuming it was him. After escaping from us through a mirror and shattering it, he sent God knows what this thing is after us. We don't have much left for you, but is there anyone in the bathrooms or anything like that? I'm asking her directly.
No, she's like, no. There's nobody here.
Then if we're all clear, yeah, then bring in the box onto the table and just.
She looks at it. You see her grab it with both her hands by the cheeks, and as she kind of rubs her hands over the face, she's like, "This is not right."
You're damn right it's not right. This thing was stitched together. Like, you remember that Mary Shelley book, and just stitches everywhere and bolts in the neck, like full on the same kind of thing. Stitched together, looked nasty as hell. I shot it with a shotgun at point blank range. She put a 45 into the side of its ribs and it almost did nothing.
Yeah, she gives you back the head. She's like, this feels like shark skin.
You know, considering all the other stitching and some of these teeth in here too, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, and as she says that, and you pull the lips up, you see that there are, as the teeth kind of go further away from the center of the mouth, they do start to become more shark-like.
Okay. So this thing came after us. Unfortunately, knocked our good friend here out. So I don't know if we can hook him up with an IV or just pop that one into his mouth or something and let him drink. But he might be out for a little bit. In the meantime, we have a little bit of research. A ledger I don't think was very important. I think this thing was frankly the decoy for whatever else they had in there. And a few books that looks like they got the old heebie-jeebies put on them by the Tremere. So I don't know if this was preservation or protection. If you open them, the ink tends to just run right off the page and you can't read it. I mean, my jeans, my boots, like it's horrible.
Yeah. No, it looks like you've had quite a night.
Yeah.
I hope you're not bringing any of your bullshit to my door.
To my knowledge, no. We do have this guy's involved with the Nosferatu as well, though.
Andrew.
Yeah.
Which Nosferatu?
Little girl-looking one. Dress looks like it's from
Name
like
is
20s or
Tulip.
30s. Her name's Tulip.
Tulip.
Yeah.
Tulip was up there?
Hmm?
What the fuck is Tulip doing up there?
She's supposed to be even in town, or is this just or is she run out of town normally, or is she just not expected to be hanging out? Because from what she told us, she's been drinking Andrew's blood. So whether she's full bound, partially, or just trying to learn some disciplines, yeah, no, she's tied up with them.
I don't like the sound of that. Tulip has no business being in the north end of town. That's not where.
Next time I see her, I'll be sure to let her know.
That's not where Malcolm put her.
Where did Malcolm put her?
she's a central Nos. She's supposed to stay in Old Town mostly, but kind of downtown. You know, people.
So who would have the north side?
Normally it'd be Mickey Douglas. They call him the Mouse.
Yeah, she mentioned him.
Yeah. Yeah, unless something's up with Malcolm's people.
Mickey the Mouse.
Yeah, Mickey the Mouse Douglas. Unless something's up with Malcolm and his people. Um, he's got a control. He's got a better control over the information coming into the city and going out of the city than the sheriff does.
Well, I'd say one of his sources of information may be a certain one of his operatives in the wrong part of town, or at least where she's not supposed to be.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you keep a track of a Nosferatu being where they're supposed to be anyway? We almost missed her.
What do you mean you almost missed her?
She was hiding in that back room when Andrew made his grand exit and shattered the mirror, and we fought, Frankenstein's monster. It wasn't until after, when we were checking, that we found her in the room. You think Bright Eye's here for that? She's sharp.
That's weird.
Why is it weird?
There's no reason to hide yourself if you're a Nosferatu. Most people understand what you represent, especially here, where there's no Anarch control in the city, so most Nosferatu are loyal to Geraldine and not to Malcolm before anything else.
Well, she did was watch a couple of canines just blast apart some construct that Tremere make.
It doesn't sit right with me. Tulip's never been one to break the rules.
Well, if she's drinking Andrew's blood in the first place, who knows what rules she even considers applying to her anymore.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna have to kick this up the chain.
And yeah, meanwhile, we're sitting here no closer to our missing people.
Yeah. But this is important. If this is, you see her go around the bar, and she pulls a bottle with an old kind of cork stopper that she pulls out, and she downs the bottle.
Like to the head?
Yeah. And she places it on the bar, and you can see that it was probably a bottle of some kind of blood that's been tinted with a kind of liquor.
Is she scared? Like, what's her demeanor? That's like really random thing to do all of a sudden.
She's concerned is the big kind of warning sign that she's wearing.
Okay. Concerned about Tulip and Tulip hanging out with Andrew.
You're not sure. You're not sure if it's Tulip or if it's the head, but there's definitely a concern, and as she corks the bottle again, she looks at the two of you and over at Erickson, who's sitting there with his head down. I know Green's gonna want more information, so I think it would behoove you to get ahead of this before he starts prodding, especially since the three of you weren't at the last Elysium. He's gonna definitely have trust issues with three unknowns to him.
Haven't I run into one of his? Didn't I run into one of his whips the first night I was here?
Yeah, Joshua.
Yeah, Joshua Allen's.
Mhm.
All right, so at least once somebody knows I'm here. But
No.
again, it was the he didn't. I did tell him I had just arrived as well, so I don't know when Last Elysium was.
Yeah.
Maybe I wasn't there for that, but
If you say that out loud, she'll give you a look. Man, Josh isn't the best at passing information. Like, we
it's been
just
both a blessing and a curse, useful on occasion.
yeah, we just found out this last Elysium that he had a child there. So
Really?
yeah,
Okay.
kept her quiet for a few decades actually. Old school taught
Right.
her.
I'm surprised the prince allowed him to have her live.
Different
Is
prince.
that- oh, okay. I was gonna say, isn't that an ashes above the front door kind of thing?
Yeah, different prince gave him permission.
Okay.
So there's nothing Geraldine could do about it.
And the embrace wasn't even in Salem, or this is just something he held on to elsewhere, or he did it here?
Outskirts.
Okay. It's as territorial as the Camarilla are, you'd think the princes would be a little more hard-assed about that.
Given, I don't know if you've heard the information that's come out of the Ivory Tower itself, and you see her kind of smirk. Apparently, there's a new decree from on high. The Holy of Holy Chicago's has dropped a new commandment to any incoming La Sombra.
And that is?
They are not allowed to join the Camarilla. Excuse me. Unless they give up one of their own.
Give up one, as in, what, narc on another La Sombra?
Yep. One death for one allowance.
One way to get their numbers down.
Yeah, it seems like the Sabbat has truly been destroyed.
I highly doubt that.
Yeah.
But, for our purposes, maybe.
Yeah.
Certainly haven't seen many of them since I got back from Europe.
Europe is a cesspool from what I've heard.
Ugh. Business is much better here.
Yeah, bet. So we have... I don't even want to say the word out loud. But we have an abomination. You want to leave that with me, and I'll kick it up to green.
I'd avoid kicking it. It might leave a little splotch on your shoes, but if nothing else, this is the proof that something. I don't even know what this is.
She looks at the bottle, and then she looks over at you. She's like, if it's what I think it is, Andrew Gibbons is in a lot deeper shit than just having taken justice into his own hands for Gretel Meyer.
Mm-hmm.
Because that looks like the one thing any gangrel, Zimitzi, or Ventru would want to kill the Tremere for. And that's gargoyles.
Out of character, I knew it.
It's a what?
A gargoyle.
It's a gargoyle.
What does that do?
It's an amalgam. They're created magically to be guardians for their chantry houses, for their safe places.
Technically Canaanites, although not usually embraced, they're usually, like you said, created alchemically, thaumaturgically with their blood magic, and they're usually a combination of one or more like clans of vampires or pieces taken from them.
Yeah, depending on what you want and what skills you wanted your Gorgo to have, you would shop around for the right clans.
You could even give these things wings, like functioning wings.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah,
I think I'm going to need to call some of my arms dealer contacts.
yeah,
We're going to need some bigger guns.
you said this guy took a shotgun blast to the chest and a 45 before he
I will
actually...
show her the shotgun or what's left of it right now.
Okay. She's like,
Because
yeah.
now that we're in the bar, I can just fucking try and bend that thing back into place again.
Yeah. She
It's
looks...
like he did this with his teeth.
She looks at that, then she looks at it, she's like, okay, so... We know that at least a gangrel was used for this one, and it looks like a Ventru if it took a fucking beating like that.
Venture, that's...
So we gotta start looking to see if any have gone missing recently.
Especially, you would think of a Venture of all the... No. Not knowledge I have.
Yeah.
Okay. And, well, I mean, now it's got to be... What time is it?
At this point now, it's pushing 4. Once you exchange information, and you've kind of gotten to the end of everything that you've both have discovered.
I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to put my heads together with them to figure out where we would even check next. I mean, is there any clues to where the Chantry House is in this city?
The only person that would know firsthand, and it would make sense why he's got a vendetta against her, is Gretel. Gretel must have seen where the Chantry House is, and that's why he has this hard on for just dispensing justice on her.
Well, let's hope he did. Oh, let's hope he hasn't found her.
There's no help from what we've learned of him. Like, we know he had he had a floor shop, he had a bookstore.
Had, well, which that might be news to her. Had a bookstore.
Oh. Well.
And he's been getting on my nerves since the moment I arrived.
Yeah, he's pretentious. So I can see that.
Yeah, the illusion of looking like an old man while reflecting himself to make that escape. I was a little peeved at that.
The only person that I think would know besides the Primogen, who I don't recommend you going to talk to, I think Harvey might know. Sheriff Green.
Yeah, but how to get in his presence without getting ourselves put out for the sun?
Yeah.
Because I feel nice and safe in this part of town, this being the Anarch section, but
I mean, we're close to the bridge, so there's an easy exit for you guys, but he doesn't know you're Anarchs yet. So it could be...
I mean, technically I'm not. I mean, free, I'm an unrestricted free agent.
Right, I mean, there's only so far you can play that card.
That is true.
Would this is like out of character? Would Nikolai know anything
about
where the Chantry House is? Any of these people?
Oh. Nikolai might not know, but Saif might.
Saif?
Yeah. Somebody in her past.
Do I know if he's... Do I know where he is?
You know how to get in contact with him. There's a phone that he usually has access to. Although he does prefer old ways like mail.
Mail?
Yeah. Like
Oh boy.
he's a
I mean, we're a solid decade away from email, so
yeah, he's a romantic though. Like he likes the idea of people writing letters.
Have I written to him before?
Do you want to have written to him before?
I don't know. I think so.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah, you might have a rapport with him then.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think that you've told them about where you actually come from?
she hadn't told me.
Yeah, no.
Definitely not.
You mean Saif?
Yeah, Saif.
I don't know.
Okay.
I feel like maybe he's trying to get it out of me.
Okay.
I don't see her as like someone who writes letters. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. I know that. Yeah, I think like his letters
Maybe
to you.
he's tried. Maybe he's
Yeah.
tried to write me letters, and
Yeah.
I'm just kind of like, and then I like kind of put it to the side.
Yeah.
I don't think she crumples it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah. I think that he writes like these 3 and 4 page letters, and you just
Yeah.
write like one legal pad page,
Yeah.
like back to him.
And it's just very menial
Yeah.
crap.
Yeah. It's like straight to the point. Like he flowers his language. Like, you know, he talks about
Yeah.
like I think when some of his letters might actually be trying to pinpoint where you're from. Like I think he has seen the fact that you two are kind of similar from the like the color perspective. Like I think he thinks he knows where you're from, and he's like trying to piece it together.
Do I know where he's from now?
Oh, for sure, yeah, yeah,
Okay, so he's told me.
yeah,
Got it. Okay.
yeah, yeah. He's probably told you what his clan is. You know, he's probably confessed some of the things that he's done in the past. But
Okay.
always from like the perspective of he's telling you this so that you understand where he's coming from and not to be afraid of him kind of situation.
Okay.
So like you probably know that he's indulged in what they call the forbidden slurp, which is diablerie.
What is that?
It's when you take
Soul
another
drinking.
vampire's blood entirely and even their soul. So you drain a vampire to gain power from it.
Okay.
And it sometimes literally marks your soul.
Yeah.
So it's not even a crime you can necessarily hide, depending on the Canite you're talking to.
Yeah. And depending on
Got
how older they are from you, you might never get rid of their voice in your head.
Wow.
Or worse yet, you may become a voice in your own head while they're actually driving you around.
Yeah.
And he's done this several times?
He's mentioned he's done it at least twice.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a badass.
Yeah. But he'll tell you that that's his curse though. His clan's curse is that they're addicted to vampire blood. And once he gets a taste, like he has to finish the job.
Right. So he might know about this house
Yeah.
and about what this magic is.
Yeah. He hates Tremere.
Okay. Very good. Okay. Cool. So
Yeah.
I think I know somebody who might help us.
Do tell.
I'm gonna make a call.
She points over to the payphone, and she's like, just jiggle the tongue a couple times, and you can make a free call for that.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So I
Never
go
a dull
there.
moment, huh, Sam?
Yeah.
Do the thing.
Yeah. So yeah, you pick up the phone, you play with the tongue a couple times, like up and down, and then
Yeah.
you hear double dial tone, and you dial in the number, and then after about 3 rings, you hear an older gentleman. How may I direct?
Not Saif.
No,
Oh, sorry.
no. How may I direct your call?
Have I heard this person before?
Mm-hmm.
So I know this person?
Yes, this is Alcade, Lucius Alcade. It is Saif's ghoul.
Okay. Well, okay, let's say that we've had a conversation before.
Mhm.
At least once. Alcade, hello.
Ah, Miss Brooke. Are you looking for my master?
Is he in?
He has just arrived.
Great.
Give us a moment. And there's a little hold music.
Cute.
And then you hear his familiar voice.
Is this his house?
Huh?
Like, am I calling his house?
You're calling a business that he has.
Oh, okay.
And it is late enough for you that although the sun is about to rise for you, it is just set for him. So he's just starting his night.
So he's on the other side of the world.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you hear the familiar voice. I heard that you are looking for me.
Yeah.
To what do
How
I
are
owe
you?
this honor? I am well. How are you?
I'm good. Listen, there's some weird shit going down
Oh,
where I am.
so this is not a social call.
Unfortunately. So there's this, and she's like, she kind of doesn't want to tell him,
Mm-hmm.
but she knows that she just needs to. I saw this thing today, that I killed, and I just need to know what it is. It's like this giant Frankenstein's monster thing. And I was wondering if you knew what that was.
Do you have a picture of it?
Better.
I have its head.
Oh. Okay. And where are you still in Salem,
I am.
the west coast of the United States, yes?
Yes. Where are you?
I am currently on the middle of a Russian landscape. We have shifted our business over to the old world. I can be there within a few weeks.
Long time.
I will have to take trains. You know how I feel about flying.
Still a long time.
I can cut it down to maybe 8 days if I take a plane over the Pacific instead of going through the Atlantic.
I think that'll be best, don't you think?
If time is of the essence, then yes, I concur.
Great. I also have another question.
Oh, please.
What can you tell me about the Tremere?
The filth, the usurpers, they are not to be trusted. They are a stain on the history of the kindred. And unfortunately, they are allowed to live by the Camarilla and its desire to appease the masses.
What have they ever done to you?
They have stolen my clan's rightful place as the premier sorcerers of blood magic.
I see.
They've stolen immortality. They don't deserve it.
What do you know about their chaudhry houses?
I know that they believe themselves fabricators of reality and that they can hide amongst the kind like a wolf in sheep's clothing, but even the wolf has a different paw print than a lamb.
So, you're saying they don't hide shit properly?
If one knows what to look for, one can dissolve the Tremere mysticism, like popping a child's balloon or a soap bubble.
Really?
Their magic is only as strong as those who believe it. And I don't believe that they can fool me.
So, if I were to try to sniff out where this house is, what should I be looking for?
Well, you are going to want to find places of power. You're going to want to find places with a history. Local legends stand out more than a regular building. The older the better, from what I understand.
Is there like a distance limit, or can it literally be anywhere?
It can be anywhere, and they can go and come depending on how strong they are in their art. But the person who erected the Chantry House would have ties to their mortal realm, to their original state. So if you can find out who erected the Chantry House in Salem, before I get there, I can help find the Chantry House from the different choices we might have.
Interesting. I'm gonna try to find who erected this house. Is there anything else I should be aware of or look for or be worried about?
I would not go into the Chantry House alone. I would keep my wits about myself if I do go into the Chantry House. And just know that one Chantry House is never just a Chantry House. Some would say
What does that mean?
the Chantry House is almost like a foyer into a much larger building. Some say that the Chantry houses are all tied together. A network of magic, a web of deceit and power that has been taken.
Okay. Great. So you're leaving in 8 days? You'll be here in 8 days?
I will leave tomorrow in the first train.
Great. Thanks, Saif.
Of course. I will contact your sire so I can arrange proper payment so that this is not a trip that will raise questions from people.
I want to tell Nikolai. Yeah, just keep it under wraps, about what it is.
Yes, of course. I just excuse me. I wish to enter the city with as many of the Camarilla knowing that I am there.
Fair enough. Great.
I look forward to
Thanks,
seeing your
Saif.
face again.
Yes. Good night. Good
Be-
day. Good night. Good
Yeah.
day.
Be safe.
One of those.
Yeah.
You too.
And he
I
hangs
hang up.
Yeah.
She doesn't say good night, good day, good night, good day.
Yeah.
That was me.
Yeah. Yeah, no, there's a moment like he says like it would be good to see your face again, and there's that moment where I imagine Mustang kind of like looks at the phone and she's just like,
Oh, I think she hung up.
Yeah.
Like, she just kind of hung up.
yeah, like she looks at the phone and she's just like, I have nothing to say to that, and she just hangs it up.
Yeah. That's how it went.
Yeah,
Great.
but yeah, while this phone call is happening, like you see that Sam is kind of at the bar, just patting Erickson's head, and she just looks at you, Andreas, and she's like, if there's a gargoyle, if there's one gargoyle, you know that there's at least a handful more.
This wasn't even the Chantry house. This is it's not even their main base, and they have a gargoyle there. I mean, what is he? He obviously was protecting himself. The bookshop seemed like a little office of his, but who keeps a gargoyle on separate property?
Mm-hmm. I wonder, did you find any tools, any dissection tools, any sewing tools, anything that would make it so that he might be
Manufacturing them?
not manufacturing? I think he
What made himself made one just for himself, and the other Tremere don't even know about it?
maybe, like,
I
what
mean-
if he was studying it? What if he was trying to perfect the technique?
It's possible, because I don't know how many gargoyles I haven't run into.
You didn't-
My character's never run into any. Has
No.
No.
And she looks at you and
I've
says,
never-
you didn't run into any in the flower shop.
No, the flower. I'd explained to her what had happened before. No, at the flower shop they had somebody there who was, I think, their blood was being used for the flower petals, but it didn't
Yeah.
look like.
Yeah.
I mean, if there was a dissection equipment or anything there, it looked like it was for whoever that was. The guy the person we put out of their misery.
Yeah. It's so weird. Because this is either an isolated incident where we're about to see an influx of gargoyles, or this is a gargoyle that was placed there to protect something.
Can we put the word out to any of the other clans? I mean, you said yourself, Gangrel, very least, maybe Nosferatu, maybe even Venture. I mean, we have to see who's missing, and see who else is missing, and how long they've been gone for.
I'm gonna kick it up to Sheriff Green and let him worry about it, because that is outside my pay grade.
Well, if you can get us contact with them,
Yeah,
we could talk to them and tell them what's going on. I mean,
I think that's a good way to get your foot in the door.
Also, from business aside, at least I can offer a few good toys to go sweeten the deal.
Yeah. So, let me make a call. You three are free to stay here if you need to. I don't know where. And she kind of looks at you. She's like, I don't know how far away you slept last time, but.
I think I'll see to my. I'm gonna see to my own arrangements. I need to talk to the other free souls and see what we can do about procuring some armaments so that, at the very least, make a proper offer to the sheriff. Give me a good reason for being here, other than
Yeah.
your local rogue coming to cause trouble. I don't think the White Tower, the Ivory Tower, is going to be too pleased about that.
Yeah. I think it'll be a good kind of way to grease the wheels if you bring in a gargoyle head to the sheriff, because then he can overlook any faux pas on the social front.
Nothing like saving your own ass by bringing evidence of somebody else's guilt.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So you go ahead and talk to your boys. We'll say we'll meet up here tomorrow.
Keep that thing refrigerated. The rest of the body turned to dust. I can't believe we have a functioning head as it is.
What do you mean the rest of it turned to dust?
When we finally killed it, the other body parts were crumbling away as we spoke. I would have brought you a hand or something for fingerprints if I could. But the only thing that remained behind after all that was left is the head. So I only needed that box.
That's weird.
Yeah. It was a parade of fucking weird tonight.
Why is it weird?
Well, when you kill a Canite, it all dust.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Yeah, depending on its age, obviously. But
yeah, there's some decomposition. You don't have uneven, like the whole body goes to dust like this one does, but we still have a whole head.
Yeah.
This goes back to probably the stitching together, but I mean,
she goes over, she opens the box, and she looks at the head again.
Does it look like anyone familiar?
No, I'm not looking for that. I don't like this. She puts the lid back on, and she puts it under her arm, and she's about to take it into her office. But she watches Mustang come back from her phone call, and she's just like I said to Andreas, you and Erickson are free to stay here. There's a safe room. It's kind of late. I don't know where your havens are from here. But I think it would behoove everybody to kind of be here tomorrow night. I'll get the sheriff out here. You guys can talk about what you found. And we can talk about where to move from here, because there's a lot of fucked up shit going on in Salem.
Yeah, if this is the Tremere in general making a move, this is huge. If this is Andrew making a move, maybe we can get lucky and turn the rest of the Tremere against him.
Yeah. Excuse me. We'll have to see where everybody sits. I mean, there's only 3 Tremere in the city since he turned on Gretel Meyer.
Then he doesn't have a whole lot of people to answer to.
Yeah. I mean, he technically is the second oldest. Betty's been in town for like 20 years.
What was it? It's he's second to Juliette Reveau, the Tremere, she's the Primogen, right?
Yeah. Betty's now, the FNG of the group.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Well, I guess we have a plan to move forward. I'm gonna go call the sheriff now. If you two are staying, and she kind of points to Mustang, and she pats Erickson on the top of the head. You can just come around, and I'll open up the safe room just next to my office.
I appreciate the offer, Sam, but I may need to stay here some other time, so not tonight for me.
All right, no problem. She goes over.
Where's my apartment?
It would probably be in West Salem.
I won't make it.
Are we already in West Salem at the bar, though?
No, the bar's on Salem proper. It's on the actual Salem side of the bridge.
That's right.
You might be able to make it. If there's not a lot of traffic, you should be able to make it.
I don't think I should risk it.
I mean, are you going to take Erickson with you? You got to haul him. You got to haul him into the Haven, or?
That would be awkward.
Yeah, Erickson can stay here.
No, I'll stay. I'll stay here. I don't want to risk it.
Okay. So she goes over. She opens up the safe room for you and Erickson, and you see that she comes over and very simply kind of pulls him up like a princess and takes him into the room, puts him on a cot. There's no strain on her part to carry someone like him. Then she goes over, she opens the door for Andreas, lets you out, into the night, locks the door, turns off the open sign.
Sound of motorcycles in the distance.
Yep. And then you hear her kind of make a phone call from the other room. And the safe room that she has in the bar has 4 cots. It looks like it's supposed to house 4 comfortably. It looks like it can probably hold like 20 of you if you really needed it. But yeah, she put Erickson on one cot. She kind of motioned to the rest, and she was just like, "Take your pick." There's no real difference.
Okay, I take the one furthest away from him.
Yeah. And as Andreas kind of drives off with Ben, trying to find a place to bunker down for the day, Mustang pushes the cot all the way against the far wall and kind of settles in for the day. Erickson just kind of lays there, sprawled out like a dead potato. This is where we'll end tonight's episode, and where we'll come back the next evening for our session. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in and watching our session. Please take care of yourselves, wash your hands, keep your distance, wear your masks, because we're still not out of the woods yet. And as always, please look after each other. And if you feel like you need to reach out to a friend or family member, please do. Mental health is part of our general health. And if you're a friend or family member of somebody that is usually a strong personality, please reach out to them, because a simple hello or how are you doing can go a long way. And please do not hesitate to seek professional help if you feel like you need it. There should be no stigma or taboo surrounding mental health. So please look after yourselves. And I will see you on Wednesday for our Legend of the Five Rings game, or on Friday for our Star Wars game. And if not, I will see you next Monday for our Camarilla chapter of our vampire game. Good night, everybody. Be safe.